Hey, Claire Panchod here in my bathroom, and today I'm going to show you how to dry body brush correctly, because chances are you may be doing it incorrectly, just like I was. Even as a trained esthetician for over 20 years, I was taught that we started at our feet and worked our way up when we're dry body brushing. Well, that's actually not the best way to do it. We actually really need to start closer to our lymph nodes and then bring the lymph in bit by bit. I'll show you what I mean in a minute. But first, the best thing to do is actually assist our lymph nodes, because we have them throughout our body, and there's major clusters of them as well in certain areas. So what we want to do is kind of give them a little bit of stimulation, a little bit of assistance, because they don't have a pump like our circulatory system does. They don't have valves like that either. So it really relies on kind of gravity and what we do to assist it. So here's the thing. We can always start at the termini, which is located like right, see where our collarbone is? See the little indentation there? And just in this area. So we can do like little soft, gentle, because it's the lymphatic system's right underneath our skin, really superficial, little gentle circles just to really move the skin, because that's what it's really working with. It's just kind of moving the skin. So you can do about 20 to 30 circles here. There's a few ways you can do this. It doesn't matter which direction you go in. You can do it cross-armed. You can even just kind of do this as well. Really helping to assist the termini here, which is where all of our lymph clears from, okay? So that's the important part. We're gonna help to assist these certain areas which have these clusters of lymph nodes, and we're gonna help them first. So we always start with the termini, and then we can go to like the tonsillar area. So basically, spread your fingers out a little bit, and you can kind of make a little V right like that, and just kind of bring your hands, and you can just slowly and gently, little pulses. They're kind of pulling the skin a little bit. Okay. You can do that again 20 to 30 times on both sides. And then you want to go to the apical area. And that, ladies, is located sort of in our bra area. So this one I like to do cross-armed because I just find it easier to do it. But even if you take your hands and just kind of go little circles, okay? This one is great for helping to clear out the breast tissue. All right, very, very, very important. A lot of people miss this one, but it's super important, okay? And then obviously we want to do our armpits as well, and they have a lot of clusters of nodes in there too, so you can gently give that a good little rub as well. You're not doing anything hard. Like you see some people that will kind of like hit it or whatever. It's not necessary. The best thing is just to literally, what you're trying to do is just move the skin, okay? Try to just move the skin. So do on both sides. Again, about like 20 to 30 times. And now I'll show you the rest of my body, the rest of my body, but we're not gonna worry about my white skin, okay? Promise me that. We're not gonna worry about that. This is just for educational purposes, and I am white all year long. Do not tan, just how God made me, so here we go. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the stomach area. And right kind of in between our sternum and our belly button, halfway, we have cisterna chyli. And again, that's a group of lymph nodes in there. We have tons and tons of lymph nodes in our area, in our abdomen area. So if you want to kind of just give that a little rub in there, okay? Even do a little indentation. Again, it's nothing deep, because especially this is an area that you could feel a little nauseous with, especially if you were to go too deep. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to be very, very, very gentle, okay? You also then want to go to the groin area. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we'll start where your hip bones are, right? So start with the hip bones and just little pulses. So start kind of caterpillar. Just bring everything up, okay? And again, we're going to do that 20 to 30 times, okay? Or I mean, sometimes if I'm a little bit tighter on time, I would just literally give them this little bit of a circular motion, okay? Then you want to go behind the knees, and you can literally use one hand and you want to touch just behind the knee there. And again, give a little pull up of the skin. Okay, you're pulling up the skin a bit. Little pulses, or you can just circular motion with your hand. Okay. Then the last one that you're going to do is right around the ankles. So you can just kind of pull that through. And you're basically just giving the skin a little bit of a pull. All right. Not much, not hard. It's very gentle. Okay, so now let's get on to the dry body brushing. So once we go through that, you can do that, and then you can even go back to the termini again, but let's get on with dry body brushing. So there's a few different ways, types of brushes. Sometimes the one with handle's great, sometimes just the one that you can slide on there, that's wonderful too. I would ideally use a natural bristle, so something like jute or even like cactus fibers, or what's the other one called? Sisal. So those are really natural fibers that you can use, you can find with dry body brushes. I would highly recommend that over the synthetic ones. And here's the other thing as well. I love to add doTERRA's either a Zendocrine blend, which is their detoxification blend, or the MetaPower, which is their metabolic blend, and just add a couple of drops to my dry body brush, okay? Before I get started. And then, so once we've kind of got those lymph nodes started, we're gonna start again at the termini. So where you're close by with the termini, you can start with the shoulder. We're going to start close to that lymph node. Come over the shoulder a bit. Okay. On both sides. So very close to where we're working. Because what you don't want to do is start here and work and bring it up, and the lymph nodes get congested with too much at once. So we're going to start just little bits. Okay, so little bits. And again, we're going to the lymph nodes under the arm. Kind of like fast pace a little bit, just little strokes. You can do a little longer. Just especially around the joints where lymph can get a little bit stagnant. And over the hand onto even the fingers as well. Okay, along the joints. So we're working up towards the lymph nodes, right? But we're doing it starting close. Do the same on the other arm. Okay. The hand, bring all that through. And then you want to kind of through the breast tissue area. Now, you would ideally be doing this completely naked right before you're about to get into a shower. But yes, you'd be completely naked doing this because you need the brush on the skin. But here, for these purposes, you can either kind of go straight up, because again, remember the apical here, you want to kind of be going towards that, and then so you can do, and then also you can do out towards the armpits. Now, as well, you want to do underneath the breast tissue too. So if you're someone who has larger bust, you can literally just pull up and you can go out, right? Towards that armpit. Because you don't want to leave everything stagnant underneath if you know, especially if you're wearing underwear bras and things like that, lymph can get stuck and stagnant under there. So we don't want that to happen. So we really want to make sure that we are bringing all of that lymph out and into the lymph nodes, okay? Now with your stomach area, you can easily can split into 4 bits, to 4 kind of parts. The top bit, again, will still go out here up towards the armpit, okay? But then the lower half, you can actually go towards the groin. So you can kind of move that down towards the groin area. And again, you would be naked, so this would go straight onto your skin, into your groin, okay? Now, when you're doing your back, this is where like a longer handle I do think is very beneficial. You can kind of push up to go over, remember we're clearing here, or you can even try and push out towards the side so you get into the armpit. So you're again working in sections, and then you would do the opposite on the other side. And here you would be kind of pulling it out on the sides to wrap around and go, right? And same with the other side. Oops. And then you would also be doing the same with the buttocks as well. So really helping to bring everything around. Okay. And bring it all around to the groin. And then we will be doing for your legs, you're bringing the lymph towards the groin, okay? And up and around, and especially around the knee. Want to get that going. Now, when you're doing the lower half, you want to begin to the back of the knee. Remember, that's where your lymph nodes are really sat there. So you can kind of the side, bringing it to the back of the leg and up. Okay, back of the leg, up, and especially from tops of the feet and the toes and all of that sort of stuff too. Okay, and then I always like to just come back around and then do the other leg. So that is your dry body brushing. So you're not starting at your feet and working up. You're starting close to the lymph nodes, and then you're doing small strokes to really move everything first, right? Because here's the thing, if we're already congested at our lymph nodes, say our armpits already kind of congested, and we start down here and we start pulling all of this up, it's not all gonna come up because it's all gonna be congested, right? So if you start little bits, it can start clearing, and just have a little bit at a time come through, okay? So there's that. Like I said, I like to use doTERRA's essential oils along with this. So after my dry body brushing, what I would do is then get my shower, and then I would add after my shower, I would take my doTERRA essential oil blend. So I use the endocrine blend with the carrot oil and mix it into a roller bottle. And then I would apply that until like the areas of lymph nodes, right? So certain areas, like especially the termini, maybe under the arms, the apical, the groin area, to really help support the detoxification process even more. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit out of breath because this is very stimulating. This is stimulating to the circulatory system. So I do not dry body brush before bed, okay? Because I will be wide awake. This is better than having a cup of coffee. It is so stimulating. So you're stimulating your circulation, you're stimulating your lymph, and you're also desquamating, so basically getting off some of the dry dead skin cells as well as your dry body brushing. So those are really important things to really realize. If you have a skin condition, say where irritation or kind of eczema, psoriasis, things like that, you know, be very aware of what you're doing, in the sense that if the brush is irritating your skin, don't do it, right? Just be very super aware of what your skin is capable of and your conditions and all those sorts of things, okay? And the other thing is, then what I would do after I've done all this is I would take my tea tree oil. So I have one here just in like a sprayer bottle with some water, or I even have bought like these little sprayer tops just off of Amazon and add it onto a tea tree that I've already used. So it's just like a few drops of tea tree in there and again, water. And then I would take the brush, closer, sorry. Take the brush and mist it, if need be, put it out into the sunshine, because the sun has UV rays, which is very sterilizing. I can do that, or I will also wash it as well with like a really good, like my hand soap, like non-toxic hand soap. But then let it fully dry. So again, taking it to the sunshine if that's possible, really letting it dry, because whenever you're using a dry body brush, you want it to be dry. You want your skin to be dry. You want the brush to be dry. All right, I think that's basically everything I wanted to cover today. So I will bring out some more info, really supporting the lymphatic system, because this is such a big topic that not a lot of people are really, really in tune with. So the more we know, the more we can do, the better we can support ourselves and all the benefits that come along with that. So have a great day. Peace out.